Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that point! Goal for Manchester City!
Saka takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out! Hello and welcome along to the Premier League on TCHub. Live is Arsenal against Liverpool from game week number 21. Kick-off is at 8 o'clock in about 9 minutes' time at the Emirates Stadium. And I'm your match commentator, Russ Vernon, this evening, and producer is Nicholas Jones. Now then, let's take a look at the Premier League scores and results from the games so far this weekend. As you can see there, defeat for West Ham against Nottingham Forest, 2-1 there. Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 2, Brentford 3, Sunderland 0. Crystal Palace and Aston Villa played out a goalless draw. Everton 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Fulham 2, Chelsea 1, Man City 1, Brighton 1, Burnley 2, Manchester United 2, and a 7-goal thriller at St James's Park, Newcastle United 4, Leeds United 3. And the big game tonight, Arsenal against Liverpool at 8 o'clock is our featured match from this midweek fixture list. Yes, thank you, Mike. I'm used to doing games on a weekend. I'm used to doing much games midweek this season. That's why I got a bit confused that midweek Premier League fixture list there. Let's take a look then at the Premier League table ahead of the game this evening. This is the bottom half of the table. But there's a top half, as you can see for you there. Arsenal, top of the tree then, with their going into tonight's game. They will surpass 50-point mark should they get the 3 points tonight against Liverpool. Sunderland are into 10th after their defeat at Brentford yesterday. Strong defeat to Brentford. They're up into 5th now, going fairly well, a point behind Liverpool. Liverpool in 4th and can close that gap slightly on Aston Villa and Manchester City. Newcastle into 6th after their victory 4-3 over Leeds United. Manchester United in 7th after their draw at Burnley. Let's take a look at the bottom end of the table then. And Brighton in 11th on 29 points. It's amount of points as Everton are in 12th, just on goal difference for the Seagulls there. Crystal Palace are in 13th on 28 points. Tottenham in 14th on 27. Leeds remain in 16th despite a late defeat to Newcastle. 8 points above the drop zone above West Ham United. Forest are 7 points above them. Burnley move within the point of the Hammers after their respectable draw at home to Manchester United. And Wolves pick up yet another point to their tally. They now sit on 7 points ahead of after the games so far for this match week. We'll get ready to give you the teams very, very shortly as we count down to kick off here at the Emirates Stadium. We'll look at the teams in just a couple of moments' time for you, and we'll recap you just ahead of kick off. So we'll run through them now, then we'll recap them again just ahead of kick off. So we'll start off with Arsenal, then, as you can see on the screen there, David Raya in goal, Yuri Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Nkape across the back. From Gabriel Magalhaes, just known as Gabriel. Captain Martin Odegaard, Martin Zubimendi, and Declan Rice on the midfield trio. Bukayo Saka, Victor Gyökeres, Leandro Trossard is in attack. The bench then for the Gunners, Kepa the goalkeeper, White, Gabriel Jesus amongst those on the bench, Eze, Martinelli, Norgard, Madueke, Moreno, and Lewis Skelly make up the Gunners bench. Let's take a look then at the Liverpool bench for this game this evening. We'll remind you of the bench of the teams again just in a few moments time at the kick-off as well. The bench then, the starting lineup for Liverpool is Alisson, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, the captain, and Kirkes. Gravenberch and McAllister in midfield. Wirtz, Szoboszlai and Frimpong are the three behind the lone striker of Gakpo. 2 goalkeepers on the bench due to AFCON and some injuries. Mamadashvili and Freddie Woodman are the 2 goalkeepers. Gomez, Chiesa, Jones, Robertson, Nione, Ramsey and Engamoa in the lineup there for Liverpool on the bench there as well. We'll take a look at the match officials very, very shortly as well for this game. But it's going to be a big game here at the Emirates. As we look at the match officials right now, it's Anthony Taylor, the match referee. Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn are his assistants tonight. For official Simon Hooper. VAR is John Brooks. If we need him, he's alongside Daniel Roberts. Moments time as well, and we'll take a look just before kick-off at some stats as well too, so we'll get ready to give you those stats. As you can see, the stats on the screen there: 83 wins for Arsenal, 96 for Liverpool. As the teams emerge from the tunnel ahead of kick-off, then Arsenal top of the table, Liverpool remain in 4th, and that's the positions they remain despite what happens here, whether there's a draw or a win for either of these 2 sides tonight. Well, then we'll remind you then again in just a second over the 2 lineups as the teams are out on the field ahead of kick-off for this Thursday night football in the Premier League. It's Arsenal against Liverpool, 1st against 4th, and let's take a look then once again in full your lineups, starting with the Arsenal lineup again in full capacity. So we'll remind you of the 2 lineups again as we run you through the 2 sides. Right now it's Arsenal and Liverpool go head to head this evening. Just going through the handshakes with the match officials, and a reminder of the 2 lineups then for Arsenal. We have David Raya in between the sticks for the Gunners tonight. Ever present between the sticks is a Spaniard for Arsenal this season in the Premier League. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Nkape are the back 4 line. Midfield trio of Captain Martin Odegaard, Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice. Your full 3 again for the Gunners fans out there: Saka, Gyökeres and Trossard. Hopefully doing okay, Mike, by the way. There's all you make to that Arsenal lineup there. The bench: Kepa, White, Jesus, Eze, Martinelli, Nogard, Madueke, Moreno and Lewis Skelly. For Liverpool, as we recap their team for you right now: Alisson in goal for the Brazilian, continues in goal. Conor Bradley, Ibrahim Konate, Virgil van Dijk and Milos Kerkez is the back 4 for the Reds tonight, playing in their change strip of white. Is Bremen Birch and McAllister in midfield with Frimpong, Szoboszlai and Wirtz behind Cody Gakpo in attack. The bench then: 2 goalkeepers on there: Mamadashvili and Freddie Woodman. Gomez, Chiesa, Jones, Robertson, Nione, Ramsey and Engamoa. There is Mikel Arteta goes down to share the hand of his opposite number on a slot, and the backroom staff of Liverpool as well as Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, part of Liverpool backroom staff. There's the Arsenal players are in and huddle there. One man you can see there, key to this Arsenal side and the England side as well, is Bukayo Saka, and he'll be looking to cause Liverpool a number of problems today. 4 goals in his last 3 home games against Liverpool this evening as we get ready then for kick-off. Let's take a look then as well. The 2 goalkeepers shape up ahead of this game then this evening. As you can see there, David Ray with more clean sheets than Alisson, 9-5. Only 14 goals conceded in his 20 games, where Alisson has conceded 18 in 15 as well. So then the teams are out as North London Forever rings around here at the Emirates Stadium ready to kick off. The results, as I read out just a few moments ago, going across the bottom of our screens. It'll be Liverpool in their change strip. Who gets off underway any second now. And we're now, are we? Delayed kick off there, but now underway. Gravenberch plays it all the way back there to Canate. And he sends the ball long downfield. There's the head of Jurrien Timber. As Declan Rice gets the ball forward, looking for the run there of Victor Gyökeres. As Arsenal look to try and start brightly here. Here's Gravenberch for Liverpool in the midfield. Drops it back to Conor Bradley on the right hand side of the Liverpool defence. Drops it all the way back there to Alisson, who drops it across to Virgil van Dijk, who sends it long downfield, looking for the run there of Florian Wirtz. Wirtz can't keep the ball in play for Liverpool. Gakpo can't either. And it's out for a throw-in then to Arsenal. Well, a free kick to Arsenal, early on foul by Florian Wirtz on Jurrien Timber. Wirtz and Gakpo, from what we've got on our screen, switched round, but keep it as we've got it on our screens for you. Just how we got it to head a kick off as we watch this game unfold, with Arsenal just knocking it around at the back there with Gabriel in possession. Across to Saliba as he will look to come forward here then. He drops it back to Gabriel. The two centre-backs for Arsenal play it around at the back, and Gabriel sends the ball long. Bradley heads it clear. Gravenberch is there up against Nkapie, and he drops it back to Bradley. And Bradley's ball into the air goes out for a throw-in to Arsenal, which will be taken by Nkapie. And now here comes Arsenal again with Saliba, as the Gunners will be looking to gun down the Reds and go to extend their gap at the top of the table even more tonight. With a point that extended to 6 points, they'll be looking to extend it even more than that over Man City and Aston Villa, who are closely in attendance behind them. Martin Odegaard commits won an early free kick there for Arsenal. He's on possession again now. Here's Declan Rice. Drops it back there to Gabriel, and Gabriel will look across to William Saliba. Saliba will play the ball forward and also trying to keep hold of possession, but too much zest in that pass towards Victor Gyökeres meant that the former Sporting Club de Portugal striker will only put it out of play for a Liverpool throw, which Milos Kerkez will take just in front of the Arsenal technical area, and he throws it back to Virgil van Dijk, who's been put under pressure by the aforementioned Gyökeres, and he's putting under pressure Alisson as the ball went back to the Brazilian in between the six for Liverpool today. He's all in black this evening, and Alisson has it back in possession. There's a blue shirt for the referee, Anthony Taylor. The ball goes long downfield. Anthony Taylor will referee this game tonight, and then he'll turn his attention to the FA Cup tie at Pride Park on Sunday afternoon, where Derby County welcome Leeds United as the rain teams down here at the Emirates. 5 degrees as the rain still teams down here as we watch on in the Premier League. Russ Vernon, your match commentator for today's game, as we bring you the clash between Arsenal and Liverpool in the Premier League this evening, as we bring you some Premier League football on a Thursday night here on the Commentary Hub. And very big thank you for joining us tonight. Nkapie will look to take this throw, and he wants someone to come short for him. He goes long downfield looking for the run there of Victor Gyökeres, who can't get there. Odegaard putting Van Dijk under pressure, and he forces him all the way back to his goalkeeper Alisson, who's taken a touch and then sent it forward with his right boot for Cody Gakpo. He leaves it because he's offside, and Timber drops it back to David Raya, all in yellow tonight, and he plays it straight into the midfield for Martin Zubimendi. We see a shot there, Mikel Arteta with rain coming down onto him, rain all over his coat as well. The wood may even fit on his slot as well, and as rain still teams down here at the Emirates Stadium. It's been like it for the past hour or so. Apparently he's in for the rest of the night, so it's going to be a wet, slick surface as that ball just slips off that wet, slick surface, looking for Jurrien Timber down this right hand side, and goes out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool, which Milos Kerkez will look to take. He drives the ball on his wet jumper, which I can't believe that would make a difference for Kirkes. Ball downfield, Timber there with the header. And there is Wirtz, who can't get it under control as Urian is going to badly clears it away off of Trossard for a Liverpool throw-in. And he will wipe the shirt on his red jumper again, so he'll be even more slippery than he was before with the horrendous on that ball now. Long throwing down the field. There's the header away by Gabriel as Canate is there. Back to Alisson, who sends this ball forward straight away to Zubimendi. And Arsenal can't get the ball through. Trossard's ball through for Gyökeres, so the Swedish striker in an offside position, and he realised he couldn't go for it. And we're approaching the 6th minute mark here. It remains Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League early on this Thursday evening. As the ball is now with Canate on the right side of the Liverpool defence. Plays out to Conor Bradley down that right-hand channel. Then he gets it back from Florian Wirtz. Then the cross-field pass from Ryan Gravenberch picks out Milos Kerkez well on his chest as he pulls it forward looking for Cody Gap. Oh, it's cleared away. And now they play for a throw-in then, which will be taken by Dominic Szoboszlai. Back into Van Dijk, and Szoboszlai is there again. And now it's Milos Kerkez with possession, charging forward down this left-hand side in towards Florian Wirtz, who gives the ball away. And Dijk, in fact, it was McAllister who came in there, thread the ball away. It's also tried to play it over the top on this near side as Urian Timber will look to line up a throw. It goes back to Saliba. And now Declan Rice drops in between the back two there to form a back three at times with the likes of Nkapie and Timber pushing forward. So Declan Rice will make it a back three at times for Arsenal. And that versatility can really cause Liverpool a few problems, especially if Arsenal being able to switch it up as that ball looking for Gyökeres has too much pace on it, and he goes through to Alisson in between the sticks there, and it remains goalless early on here in the Premier League. Hello to I Am the Gamer. Hopefully you're doing well tonight. Thank you very much for choosing us. As you can see, the scores from the matches thus far going across the bottom of your screen for match week 21 in the Premier League as we watch the final game of match week number 21 between Arsenal and Liverpool, which is approaching the 8th minute mark as Milos Kerkez has a throw for Liverpool on this near side. Down the line to McAllister. But it looked like a foul throw there, but the referee's not giving it. Gyökeres now has possession, looking for Trossard, but Bradley has it away only as far as Victor Gyökeres, who goes down. The referee slips in the win. He will have that to me as Gabriel comes forward now for Arsenal. Here is Martin Ødegaard. And Ødegaard finds Gabriel, and he gets the ball out wide to Leandro Trossard. Trossard looks to come forward and he drops it into Zubimendi, into Martin Ødegaard. Out wide it goes to Bukayo Saka on this right hand side for Arsenal. Cross infield, Saka. Wonderful cross in looking for Victor Gyökeres. Trossard was in there too. Rice picks up the ball and finds Gabriel. Now Rice again for Arsenal. Just keeping all of possession as he looks to bring this ball forward. But Mendy's dropped back into the back line as well, which is good to see that versatility of this Arsenal side. As a ball's played through into the path of Timber, across too near the goalkeeper in the end, and Unity was out of play at that cross. And if Arsenal aren't careful, Liverpool counter quickly, Timber could be caught out, and I think I'd also put the ball in the back of the net there. It may have been decided for Timber being in an offside position as the ball was played through to his ball in towards Gyökeres. Flicks it back to the edge of penalty. Trossard's low shot. He ended up into the air by Canate. Favour cleared by McAllister. Gappo swings the boot and finds McAllister, but his header's poor, and then Capia drops it all the way back there to David Raya. As Arsenal look to start again from the back and try and come forward here in this Premier League encounters. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0, as we look on here. Liverpool will look to try and go forward with possession if they can win it off at Arsenal. But Martin Odegaard has the ball now for the Gunners as they go across there to Gabriel as he looks to drive over halfway, does he? Yes, he's over halfway and across the centre circle to this right hand side from Odegaard, favour out wide to Bukayo Saka, back into Odegaard again. Odegaard across the field and runs away from the right hand touchline towards the middle of the penalty, towards the middle of the park as Saliba tries to join the attack, but he goes to Saka again up against Kirkes, and Kirkes does well. He concedes a throw. There's a corner kick here. Like he conceded a throw at first from his, or maybe actual corner. No, it's actually a corner because like he went down for a throw, but and then I could tell from the reaction of Kirkes that he was indeed a corner. Arsenal have scored 14 goals from corners from set pieces. Liverpool have conceded 13. Can Arsenal add to that tally from this set piece from Bukayo Saka? Saka's corner is sent into the danger area, and Alisson punches it clear to the edge of the box, where Trossard moves out to Florian Wirtz and pulls Wirtz down. Will that be a yellow card? The referee has no chance, but to go into his referee's notebook and produce the first yellow card of the game to Leandro Trossard for pulling back Florian Wirtz and pulling him to the ground. And that's a yellow card for the Arsenal man. First yellow of the season for Leandro Trossard as well. As here comes Liverpool in possession with Ryan Gravenberch, out wide to Milos Kerkez. Now back to Virgil van Dijk once more, and now Konate has possession. Konate will look forward, but he drops the ball back here now as Liverpool just to play a bit of key ball as they look to build their way into this game. And now, here is Alisson. He sends the ball long downfield as there's the header on by Cody Gakpo. He can't get there as Liverpool look to come forward as Gravenberch goes down. Referee says playing as Liverpool got the ball back as Gakpo finds Szoboszlai. He's now playing out wide with Jeremy Frimpong against Nkapie. He goes into the penalty area. Frimpong throws the ball into the penalty area only as far as Zubimendi clears away for a throw-in to Liverpool. And that's a good bit of play from Liverpool for the final ball. He's setting Sloth's side down at the moment in time. Van Dijk in possession. Rolls it across there to Gravenberch. Now Van Dijk again. Good turn away by Florian Wirtz. But then he loses possession after Wirtz comes all the way back here to try and win the ball back. And Dominic Szoboszlai, who should be playing that number 10 role. Now, front four for Liverpool has been a bit fluid tonight. One time you'll see Szoboszlai up there with Gakpo back on this left-hand side, Wirtz in the 10. One time you'll see Wirtz in the attack, Gakpo on the left, Szoboszlai in the 10. And one time you'll see Gakpo up front with Szoboszlai in the 10 and Wirtz on the left, with Frimpong always staying out on that right-hand side, no matter who goes into number 10, the left wing, or the striker position for Liverpool as Szoboszlai can do that role. Either one of them three roles there adequately as he can. Right back role where he's played a number of times this season for Liverpool, will play more in an advanced position tonight at the Emirates. Arsenal will look to come forward with Saliba to try and unlock this Liverpool tactical plan, and with an early goal here as we approach the 14.5 minute mark here, is still goalless as here's Martin Odegaard in towards the penalty area as Liverpool win the ball back. Gakpo's there as Arsenal win the ball back through Declan Rice. Now Timber got Saka on the outside. Timber goes down the line for Odegaard, back to Saka. Saka does well against Kirkes, twisting in one way then the other. And again. Wonderful play from Saka. Zubimendi out wide to Odegaard. Back to Saliba this time though. Odegaard there again. Infield to Gabriel. Now Rice. And Rice will look to come forward. On the overlap is Nkapie. Back to Gabriel again. Now Odegaard. Odegaard looks up. Finds Rice. Left hand side of the penalty area. He's crossing for Timber. Where's it back across goal? And no one in Arsenal shirt was there to tap it in the end. And there was Liverpool trying to win the ball back, but Arsenal coming again. Bukayo Saka down this right hand side. Wonderful play from Saka. Takes on his man in towards the penalty area. Still getting Saka. Pulls the ball back. Arsenal man goes down inside the penalty. No penalty given by Anthony Taylor there. Good play from Saka initially though down this right hand side as Liverpool just clear to halfway, and Arsenal will come again with Gabriel to Declan Rice. Rice now into Odegaard. Into Bukayo Saka towards the penalty area. Saka's there, but the offside flag is up against the England international winger. And the former Ireland boy Bukayo Saka. So as we look at this again, brilliant bit of play from Bukayo Saka. He skips into the penalty area with ease past McAllister, pulls the ball back. And also watching the penalty there, I've just looked at it again, and for me, no real penalty there for I think it was Zubimendi who went down. Now he does well still on his feet there, Saka. He could have gone down off out after a little clip from Alexi McAllister. He decided to stay on his feet, good honest. Glove is Bukayo Saka. Doesn't go down unless he feels the need to. As Liverpool carve Arsenal open here. And they're coming forward with Kirkes on this left hand side now from Szoboszlai's pass. Ball in towards Frimpong at the back post. Gabriel is there and he just heads it back to David Raya, who balls it out quickly as Arsenal with Odegaard find Bukayo Saka on this right hand side. He's end to end stuff here now. Saka down the right hand side up against Van Dijk. Goes in field Bukayo Saka. Still going away from Kirkes. Saka's shot is saved by Alisson in the end. And that's a good bit of build-up play from Arsenal there. Just the lack of conviction in the shot from Bukayo Saka in the end there. And it remains 0-0 if you're just tuning into a 17.5 minute start here on the contrary. Russ Vernon guiding you through the action tonight as we bring you this Premier League clash on Thursday evening. As Bukayo Saka's more of his touch has been on this right hand side, on the edge of the box, mainly on the right hand side, completely inside the penalty area as well. And that's where Saka's got most joy, on this right hand side where he's been playing tonight so far. And he's got Kirkes under a bit of pressure there as we watch this move forward with Arsenal again as Nkapie drops it back to Gabriel. Now Zubimendi has possession. Into Declan Rice inside the centre circle, inside the Liverpool half, across to Saliba on the right. He switches the play to Zubimendi on the left hand side in the attacks the penalty area down that left hand side. So the one is Nkapie who looks to go backwards to Gabriel into Declan Rice, around 30 or so yards out for Arsenal, midway inside the Liverpool half of the field. Declan Rice looks to get the ball towards his near side, and here's Gabriel again. Now Saliba, back into Gabriel. This is good play from Arsenal, just keeping possession. Zubimendi for Declan Rice on halfway. And average possessions for Liverpool is everyone inside the reverse as through the middle rather than gap as we initially thought. And the ball is now going to be picked up here by Nkapie as the ball went all the way across to him. Now Trossard, his ball back into the penalty area. Almost breaks for Jurrien Timber, he gets there. Now Saliba. William Saliba. A bit of movement here from William Saliba, still going. Saka. Odegaard. Gabriel into the path of Zubimendi. finds Nkapie back to Odegaard, who's crossing towards the penalty area. Saka standing at the back post. Referee says, play on. Didn't see anything in that, and neither did I. Odegaard comes forward again for Arsenal. Here is Saliba, who gives the ball away. Wirtz finds the Bosley. Now Gravenberch. Let's get the ball front. Goes for one ball against Odegaard, not given. Here's Frimpong there for Liverpool. Back to Conor Bradley. Canate almost lost it under pressure from Gyökeres. But Arsenal have won the ball back. His Rice almost gave the ball away. Conor Bradley tries to win a throw in here, but he comes off of, and he does. Trossard not happy. Neither of the Arsenal fans. And I want to look at this again because I felt he'd come off the Arsenal man. Trossard didn't agree. I'm not going to see it again, but I felt it was the correct call from the referee, Anthony Taylor. And the play for a throw into Arsenal. On my left hand side again, as Arsenal now try and build down that left hand side. That's Rice. Just drops it to Saliba inside the centre circle as he finds Gabriel inside his own half. Here is Gabriel again. The ball into Saliba. Now Odegaard. And Odegaard finds Gabriel. Saliba with possession. Good players. Here comes Martin Odegaard. And he will look up here, will he? Yes, Odegaard out wide to Gabriel, who's up from the back. Down the line is Nkapie. He's got Trossard inside of him, who's supposedly be the winger. What Trossard's playing is on the edge of the box, rather than out and out winger on the wing. Another kind of Saka is. Saka sometimes drifts in as well. Once Saka knows the ball's coming towards his side, he always opts for the wing, unlike Trossard, where he always goes inside. He's now gone out on the outside, like I wanted him to do, to try and take on Conor Bradley and beat him, and he has done that. And he's into the penalty area now. Pulls the ball back, plays away. Gravenberch is there. Almost caught in possession, and he is caught in possession. And Gabriel there does really, really well to win the ball back there. This is a good start to the game, even start to the game. Both teams playing reasonably well. As here's Saliba through Arsenal. The moment here as they will come forward. And that's Saka in field to Odegaard. Odegaard loses out as there will be a chance to come forward here now as Liverpool look to keep hold of possession. Good ball into the path there of Gravenberch. Out wide, he goes to Conor Bradley. Bradley will look to come forward. If you're just joining us, it is still Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 at the Emirates Stadium in the Premier League. As we watch this game unfold inside the opening 23.5 minutes of this encounter. Is Florian Wirtz out wide, goes there. Well, and here they come again, Liverpool on that far side. Wirtz now in field to Gravenberch. He turns away from his man and still goes. Gravenberch, slow shot is blocked. It was a late free kick from Dominic Szoboszlai, which won it for Liverpool at Anfield in the only game which Arsenal failed to score in this season across all competitions. What a stat that is in itself. Currently 5 degrees at almost 25 past 8 at night on Thursday evening, raining as well. It feels like 2 degrees though. Bitterly cold evening here in North London as we watch Arsenal taking on Liverpool in the Premier League. It remains goalless series. Gravenberch has possession to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai will look to come forward. Now Frimpong. The ball back here now as the ball is knocking around here as Van Dijk with possession. Drops it to this near signing Gappo. Back he goes to Kirkes. Now Van Dijk is out of the centre circles. Liverpool work their way from left to right and finds Konate, who goes down the line for Szoboszlai and turns away into McAllister. And McAllister does well to find Florian Wirtz. Good ball across there. There's Gravenberch on the field. Szoboszlai takes over. Wirtz again into Bradley, who does well. Bradley holds up back to Florian Wirtz. Now Gravenberch drops it back there to Van Dijk, who finds Kirkes. Go forward into Szoboszlai, back to Kirkes again. Back inside the centre circle for Liverpool inside their own half. And it's Virgil van Dijk who rolls across the centre circle to Konate, who's just over the halfway line now. And here's Florian Wirtz. How wide it goes to Conor Bradley. Bradley goes back towards McAllister. Across the centre circle into his own half. On halfway for Virgil van Dijk, and Kirkes drops it back to Konate. And Konate will go all the way back here to Alisson. Alisson into McAllister. Good play this from Liverpool. So they try and pass their way out from the back and downfield. And this is good plays. Bradley takes over. Liverpool run from Bradley. More through towards Frimpong. Back and ball back towards Bradley. Bradley shoots! Off the crossbar! Back to Gappo. Gappo is out there. Gappo shot his block. Liverpool come the closest with the crossbar. Still reverberating. Bradley getting towards the penalty area. Goes down on the edge of the box. Referee says no. Bradley's effort up against the crossbar. I almost thought that was going to be 1-0 there to Liverpool. That would have been a superb goal. Here's Frimpong. And there would have been a mistake by David Raya. Frimpong drops the ball back. Good plays as Liverpool look to come forward again. Here's Florian Wirtz for Liverpool. Good play this as Liverpool look to keep possession. Van Dijk gets the ball forward. Here's McAllister. Alexis McAllister drops the ball out wide to Bradley. Frimpong is there. Taking the penalty area. Jeremy Frimpong crossed in, and Gappo tries to get there at the back post. Comes off Timber and beyond through Liverpool corner. And he's not happy there, Timber. Neither is David Raya. Let's just look at this again. Brilliant ball through towards Frimpong. Come back to Raya. Going straight to Bradley. Bradley's effort comes back off the crossbar. Back to Cody Gappo, whose effort was blocked by the number 12 Urian Timber. And that was David. If that had gone in, that would have been a mistake by David Raya. And so close to the opening goal there for Liverpool. And he's saying to talk to each other there. We're still going to have for a goal kick because Arsenal now in possession. I thought we were going to have for a corner a few moments ago, and we were looking at that replay as they will look to come forward now. Arsenal with Gabriel to Zubimendi, back to Gabriel again, just over halfway. All now, Arsenal left Liverpool right hand side. There's Trossard back to Gabriel in field to Zubimendi. As Arsenal will try and work it from left to right, be like what Liverpool did a few moments ago. But then they go back from right to left again. Saliba finds his centre-back partner in Gabriel. Zubimendi is this time dropping into the back line to help out. As here is Trossard up against Frimpong, who's doing his defensive duty well here. Being pushed and harried there by Trossard. And it will be a goal kick to Liverpool, or is it a throw-in? Liverpool fans clapping out there from the Reds as they win a throw-in, it looks like. Automatically going out for a goal kick, but in fact, he did go out for a throw-in instead. It remains 0-0 here between the two sides. It's Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. If you're just joining us tonight, we'll have the classified check of the full-time scores from the Premier League matches later this evening. Just before we finish on air tonight, we'll go through the scores again for you at the end of the programme. The scores are going through across the bottom of the screen as we watch this game unfold this evening. As Arsenal with Fallon Trossard win a free kick on that far side. Gabriel, Dogston, Capier, Timber, Gyökeres and Saliba. as Liverpool have some defending to do here. Declan Rice is the man standing over this set piece. Trossard was there a moment or two ago, but he's moved away now. He's on the edge of the penalty, inside the D. One with Martin Ødegaard. Saka just a couple of yards in front of them inside the penalty area. He goes in towards penalty into the arms of Alisson, who almost made a mistake there. He almost looked in. But what's this? What about this for a throw out? Almost found Kirkes, but that was a really long throw. And he went from inside the penalty area past the technical area where Mikel Arteta stood and out for a throw-in to Arsenal inside their defensive third. Now that is, for me, a bit like a kick in a rugby match where they kick from one end of the field to the other and try and win a line out. It remains 0-0 as we are coming up towards 31 minutes on the clock and been fairly evenly matched. Liverpool come the closest with the effort off of the crossbar as Saka goes down under the challenge of Kirkes. When we look at this again, crossfield pass to find Bukayo Saka, brings it down well, and then he's pushed over. And I think he may have just been caught slightly as well on his ankle as he went down there. Bukayo Saka. It remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool in the Premier League. Free kick to the Gunners. Saka now back onto his feet as we watch this game unfold this evening. As we bring you this Premier League game, here's Saka. Puts the ball infield for Ødegaard, cleared away by Frimpong. Bad there, doing some defending. He breaks for Trossard, does it with ball, unless he go out to play for a throw. Trossard takes the throw in quickly to Zubimendi. Back to Trossard again. He goes back to Ødegaard. Ødegaard forced backwards as a yes to Raya by Florian Wirtz. Now Gabriel has possession, and now he finds Saliba, does David Reyes. Gabriel was calling for it. It remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool in the Premier League, if you're just joining us tonight. As we watch this game unfold, as we watch Arsenal keeping all of possession. A recap review of the scores at half-time from the games thus far. As we watch this game unfold this evening. Here is Timber, down the line it goes well. Ball back by Ødegaard. As he looks to win this ball forward for Liverpool, for Arsenal. As they look to come forward, here is William Saliba. Across there to Timber. Ball from Zubimendi, looking for the run there of Bukayo Saka. Too much on that, and out of play for a goal kick to Liverpool. Also, barking out some instructions of what he wants his side to do. As we come towards the end of the period, the game, it remains Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 as Virgil van Dijk sends this ball long downfield, headed away there by Jurrien Timber. Out of play for the throw, which is in line with the Liverpool technical area, taken by Milos Kirkes. Mikel Arteta has lost 7 games against Liverpool as a manager, only lost more against Manchester City, who he has lost 8 times against. We're hoping that record does not continue. As we watch on towards this game here, as we watch Liverpool just knocking the ball around. Well, there's Virgil van Dijk back. He goes to Alisson. Alisson across to Canate. Canate turns away, plays it off of Trossard to get Liverpool a throw, which will be taken by Conor Bradley. And I think so far, Anthony Taylor has refereed this quite well. No silly decisions from the manager. Well, from the referee in this game. And no need to go to VAR as Frimpong is down inside the Arsenal penalty area. Arsenal just playing the ball around here. Zubimendi with possession. Arsenal playing on here and coming forward with the ball is Jurrien Timber. Liverpool not happy. The game should be stopped with Frimpong down beside the penalty area at the other end of the field. Here is Saka. In front of Zubimendi. Declan Rice. Trossard. Trossard takes on one. And comes in, low driven shot. Just wide over the target. And there will be a corner, I think he's given. And he's calling up the Liverpool captain, Virgil van Dijk here. They're all being grabbed here. People are getting involved here. All getting out of a bit of control, pushing and shoving. Rice having a word with Declan Rice here. Declan having a word with Virgil van Dijk. He can't have a word with himself, really, Declan Rice, can he? The referee has pulls Van Dijk away to the side to have a chat with him. Virgil van Dijk just having the word, asking him a question. Frimpong is receiving some treatment here. Let's look at this again. As Frimpong, is Frimpong get injured here? There's nothing in that, just saying there's an injury caused by an Arsenal player. His foot gets caught, twisted there in the ground. It's not an head injury. So the referee and the Arsenal team are well in their right to continue the game. In my opinion, it's not an head injury. And Frimpong now will have to leave the field, and Liverpool will be temporarily down to 10 men with he leaving due to receiving some treatment. Arsenal did get a corner from that effort a few moments ago as well before the stoppage in play happened. It remains 0-0 here in the Premier League encounter. And Mike agrees with my sentiments there as we watch this game unfold. Bukayo Saka is watching on it. Here it's still this corner kick for Arsenal in towards the penalty area, cleared away only as far as Declan Rice, as Arsenal will look to come forward again. More back in towards the penalty, goes all the way across. Can Saka keep it in? He can. Only just though Bukayo Saka. Goes well to find Martin Odegaard. There's a ball in by Saliba. Header from Gabriel was in there. Cleared away. Wirtz is cleared away. Goes for ball. Gakpo's there. As Liverpool look to come and break. But there is Zubimendi tidying up well for Arsenal at the back. Trossard gets the ball forward for Nkapie. He was told to go back by Gabriel. Nkapie does well on our left hand side. Comes off Robin Bertrand. Is he going out for a throw in? No, the referee for which way the throw has gone. I think it's gone to Liverpool later. Or maybe Arsenal actually. If you look at this again from Declan Rice, wonderful whip ball in as Arsenal going with that throwing quickly as we're watching that replay of that wonderful whip ball across from Declan Rice a few moments ago. Here is Timber into Saliba, and now Gabriel has possession once more. Here is Saliba. Now here is Frimpong. Not Frimpong. Gabriel, should I say, as it looks like Frimpong, we're going to win the possession, but then he backed out to the last minute, but due to still feeling the effects of that twisted ankle a few moments ago. Walling towards this far side, and Bukayo Saka just wheels in from the touchline, knocks it in field. There to Martin Odegaard to Saliba, as Arsenal look to keep hold of possession. Across there, it goes to Gabriel. Down the line, it goes on that far side to Nkapia, the left back. Operating as one of their left wing back role at times. And Trossard a bit further forward. Looks like it's a 3-4-3 at times for Arsenal. When Zubamendi all right drops into the back line. And between the two centre backs, it looks like it's Zubamendi mainly now. Rice did it earlier on, but now looks like Zubamendi was doing that role. And it looks like the two, Odegaard and Rice in the centre with Timber and Nkapia as the wing backs. Trossard, Gyökeres and Saka in the attacking front line for Arsenal now as they look to try and combat what Liverpool have done so far with that change of shape mid-game. It is Yuri and Timber, who's now playing more of a right wing-back role. Saka drops back there and he's played a wonderful ball down the line for Timber. Timber just keeps the ball in and crosses in towards the back post. Gravenberch is there and he looks to clear it away. Back it goes to Declan Rice and into Martin Zubamendi once more. Zubamendi will look to come forward. Back to Declan Rice again. Rice back towards halfway and Gabriel midway inside the Liverpool half as we close in towards half time shortly. As Saka does well. Takes the penalty out, giving the ball away as Gakpo throws himself to the floor there and the referee's giving a free kick. Didn't see any foul in there on Cody Gakpo as we'll probably get another look at it again in a moment. Arteta having a word with the official Simon Hooper. And he apologised for going a bit over the top there. As Virgil van Dijk gets one of that free kick foul was given on Ryan Gravenberch, but Arsenal won the ball back fairly quickly as Saka tries to come forward, and there the ball was played downfield and out of play by Martin Zubamendi and remains 0-0 in this Premier League encounter this evening. Really good to have you along with us on this Thursday evening in the Premier League. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. Liverpool, the team coming the closest over the two sides when Conor Bradley fired a shot against the crossbar after a poor mistake by David Raya. And it's a free kick. Here we go now. I'll also done with that quick free kick there. As we watch this game unfold this evening as we see this match tonight as Arsenal look to come forward. Here's Salih Timber down the line into Gyökeres. Gyökeres does well. It's supposed to be the one in the middle. He gets it back to Timber. Timber crossed in deep. Headed away on this one towards Rice. It's back into the ground and saved by Alisson in between the six there. And if you look at that effort again here, this is a good bit of play, a good ball back. And he's headed away down into the ground and almost a touch there from Trossard in front of Alisson, almost directly beyond him from Declan Rice left from the edge of the penalty area. Here is Gabriel now for Arsenal. Odegaard, good ball through. Saka's there. Saka, can he score for Arsenal? Will he break for Arsenal inside the penalty area? Gakpo goes down. The referee says free kick to Liverpool, foul on Gakpo. Foul by Timber. It remains 0-0 as we approach half time. It must be a pulsating first half. It remains 0-0 as Arteta not happy with that challenge there, which gave a free kick to Liverpool for the foul on Gap on the edge of the penalty area as he looked to break away. Ball back now with Alisson, and he almost gave the ball away to Rice as Liverpool look to go and play out from the back, and they play through midfielders. McAllister gets the ball forward. Now Kirk, as we get ready to see how many minutes of stoppage on the end of this first half there will be. It remains 0-0 as Arsenal and Liverpool battle here at the Emirates. Good bit of play here as Frimpong looks to go forward. No ball into the penalty areas. Going to be cleared away, eye into the night sky. Header run there, is it? The referee says no, play on as we enter 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. There's a clash between Odegaard and McAllister. Let's look at this again, see if there's any intentions on any of this one. Both eyes on the ball. We're going to the back of each other, and he catches the back of the head of Martin Odegaard, and McAllister lands awkwardly on his back. It remains 0-0 here between the two sides in the Premier League. And remains 0-0 as we come towards the end of this first half. We're looking at this incident again from Frimpong when he went down his side of the penalty area. His ankle twist. There may have just been a slight touch by Nkapie, but it's the fall that makes him go where he goes down. Is why it's not, for me, wasn't given, because I didn't see that touch at first. He's only told me the second replay, and really close up to see them maybe a slight touch, but it was not enough from Nkapie to make him go down like he'd been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. Using a quote there from JB. Big up to you, JB, if you're listening. Good result for Burnley yesterday in a draw against Manchester United. The ball is out of play for a goal kick to Liverpool as we close in on the end of this first half, as we see this match come towards the end, as we get ready to go and have a break in a moment or two's time. We're closing into the end of this first period, and we've got to say this game has been excuse me, a really good game despite it being 0-0. Liverpool with the best chance of the game for me, striking the crossbar as the half-time whistle does sound at the Emirates, and we are at 0-0 at half-time in the Premier League. We tell you give you the post rundown in a few moments' time. And I agree with the comment that I've just seen from my producer Nicholas tonight, who says Taylor has been dealing with the arguments very well before things turn nasty. And you have to agree with that there, Nick. As we get to half time right now, as we watch this game unfold. But before we go for a quick break in a second or two's time, I'd just like to remind people of what the scores have been in the Premier League so far this weekend as we watch this game unfold tonight. Just to recap then, is West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 2, Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 2, Brentford 3, Sunderland 0, Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0, Everton 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Fulham 2, Chelsea 1, Man City 1, Brighton 1, Burnley 2, Manchester United 2, Newcastle 4, Leeds United 3 is the score there. And as you can see on the screen there, the scores right there as well. 0-0 is the score in our match tonight, which has been Arsenal and Liverpool, which has been, despite it being goalless, in my opinion, been a good game so far, just lacking the final touches in the games. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll be back with some thoughts at half time and recap on that first half. So join us very shortly. Hello and welcome back to the commentators' coverage of Arsenal against Liverpool. 0-0 is the scoreline at half-time. The best chance of the game fell to Liverpool through Conor Bradley, which struck the ball, and they played out well at the back. Arsenal have had nearly moments, but yet to really trouble that back four and that defence of Liverpool's for me in that first half. Let's see what part of the channel, corner of the channel, Mike Arneman, big Arsenal fan, thinks about that first half. And Mike, good to have you with us, my friend. First of all, Happy New Year to you, Mike.
Happy New Year, buddy. Hope you well.
All good, mate. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good to hear, Mike. Just to get your thoughts on that first half, and for me, the best chance of the game was when Raya played it straight to Conor Bradley and which struck against the crossbar. So close that I thought that was going to be 1-0 there to Liverpool, Mike.
Yeah, I'm just watching it on the replay now, and it was a bit of poor play between Saliba and David Raya, and then David Raya just gives the ball straight to Liverpool there, and it's not far away at all. Yuri Timber's coming back onto the goal line, so may have got there, but it's a big chance for Liverpool, and something that if they want to win this game, they've got to take these opportunities, because you've seen with Arsenal's defence in recent weeks and over the months from the start of the season till now, that Arsenal don't really give away too many chances. So, that's a big one that Liverpool have let slip there.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely, mate. And what do you make to Arsenal going forward? And there's not been much clear-cut chances for Arsenal, and that's because of Liverpool's shape and Liverpool's defensive structure. I think your Arsenal are trying to find it hard to break them down, but with that you've got to credit Liverpool's defensive structure, haven't you, Mike? If Arsenal failing to break them down.
Yeah, I think they have set up quite well defensively. They do look open down the right-hand side, though. Bukayo Saka's getting a bit of joy down that right flank, so I think that's what Arsenal needs to do. They need to get the ball out to Bukayo Saka, because he's been more effective than Leandro Trossard, who looks a little bit frustrated, actually, I think, as well. He's obviously got a booking after, I think it's about 11, 12 minutes or so, and he's had a few other moments where he's been a bit pessy with a few things, where he might have been a bit lucky to maybe not even see a second yellow. So I think Arteta will be having a word with him to try and get him to calm down a bit at half-time. But yeah, I think everything's coming down Arsenal's right through Bukayo Saka at the moment, and that's where a lot of the joy is coming from, and that's what Arsenal needs to try and capitalise on with the second half.
Yes, as you said, brilliant bit of play down that right-hand side from Arsenal, and that's where, I think for me, that's where Arsenal can get most joy out of, especially with Van Dijk on that side. Yes, I know Canate be vulnerable as well at the back. But on that left-hand side, you've got Van Dijk who can get really hot-headed, and Kirkies who can get forward and do sometimes fails to get back. Whereas if Bradley gets forward on the right side and don't get back, you've got Frimpong who can get back and cover in that position. Whereas on the left-hand side, you've got Florian Wirtz, who's mainly a winger stroke forward, attacking mid, and Gakpo, who's mainly a forward, so they're not really used to defending. Whereas on the others, so if also can keep in isolated field, no game, then get back in time and capitalise down there. That's, I think, like you said, Mike, that's the most joy we can get Liverpool down that right hand side, using Saka's pace, using Timber's overlaps on that Arsenal right, Liverpool left, which is where he really needs to be, in my opinion.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think if you look at the benches as well, Arsenal have got quite a lot of quality on the bench that we will see at some stage. We've got, obviously, Madueke's there if we want to change it on the right side. Ebereze's there. Gabriel Jesus has been coming off the bench in the last few games and looked quite bright, and he's looking quite good at the moment in terms of his fitness. There's also the likes of Gabriel Martinelli as well. So Arsenal have a lot of quality on the bench. Liverpool not as much so. They can turn to the bench and use the likes of Chiesa and Curtis Jones and Ngamoa if they want to look at forward options. But Arsenal have more in terms of their bench, in my opinion, and that's where this game could potentially be won if Arsenal don't, get the job done with the 11 out on the field. So, yeah, even the likes of Norgard, Ben White as well. Arsenal have got a strong bench, so that could come in handy as well.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. I just want to ask you about that midfield battle in that first half. You've got Odegaard, Zubimendi and Rice in that midfield for Arsenal up against Gravenberch and McAllister. So Arsenal over winning it at times. Yes, I know sometimes Szoboszlai will go back in there to make it a free as well. But that midfield battle so far, that's going to be the key. If Arsenal can get on top and win that midfield battle, that's where I think Arsenal could win it. If Liverpool get on top in there and start winning the midfield duels, that's where I think it could turn for Liverpool. What do you make to that midfield battle so far? And do you think that could be a key area of where this game could be won and lost?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Declan Rice and Zubimendi and Odegaard against, as you say, the Liverpool ones there of McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai is a really interesting battle. Obviously Cody Gakpo dropping back in there, potentially a little bit as well. Wirtz. So, yeah, it's a very, very good battle. Odegaard's been quiet, so potentially that might be where Arsenal look to make a change. They may look to bring on Eze for Odegaard potentially. But, yeah, I feel that, it's been pretty even at the moment. So whoever can win the midfield battle could certainly, go on and win this game. Yeah, that's for sure.
Absolutely, Mike. I just want to ask you briefly, just before we get ready to go back for the second half very, very shortly, of what you made about switching formation mid-game, because you see at times Nketiah and Timber pushing up, making it a 5 midfield, and you see the likes of, it was Rice at the start, but now it's been more Zubimendi dropping back into the back three, so playing like a 3-5-3-4-3 in terms of Rice and Odegaard as a central two. Zubimendi in part of the back three with Saliba and Gabriel either side. What have you made to that from Arsenal moving in as the game's going on? Because I feel like that could try and cause Liverpool a few problems if you can switch to that as well, because you're probably not used to Arsenal playing like that, and you're also playing with it 4-3-3. If you can change up a bit, that could cause problems for Liverpool as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I think you want to see Zubimendi holding if you can, and then Declan Rice becoming a bit more of a free roaming midfielder in the 8 role, and obviously with Odegaard as well in there. I think that's what you want to see from an Arsenal perspective. You want to see Declan Rice moving forward, and then Zubimendi kind of just holding the line a little bit between the midfield and the defence. So, but Declan Rice can play that role as well. So, yeah, either way, it kind of just confuses Liverpool a little bit and gives them something else to think about.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. I just want to throw to you for one last thing before we get ready for the second half, which will be kicking off very, very shortly. And just want to ask for your final score prediction, Mike. Do you think we'll get a winner tonight in this game? And if so, which way do you think he's going to go? Do you think it'll be a time 1-0 either way, Mike, or do you think Arsenal could, if they get them 1, could go and get to 2, maybe 3 as well? What do you reckon the final score is going to be tonight?
I think it's going to be a very close second half, as we've seen in the first half. There's not been many chances for either side. Arsenal have had a couple of half chances. Liverpool's main one was the one off the crossbar, but bar that, they've not had a lot. So I think one goal is going to do it either way. And I'm going to have to back my boys, so I'm going the trusted 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Thank you very much there, I will probably try and get your brief thoughts at the end of our coverage tonight as well. I just want to say on behalf of everybody here at the commentary, our thoughts and prayers go out to Gabby Logan and her family following the death of her father, Terry Yoreth, who died aged 75 early today, Leeds United and Wales legend. May he rest in peace. 11 goals he scored for Leeds United in over 100 appearances for the Whites there as we get ready for the second half to kick off here. But on behalf of myself, Mike, Nicholas and the rest of the team of the Comment Club, our thoughts and prayers go to Gabby Logan and her family following the death of Terry Yoreth, aged 75, which was announced this morning after he sadly died last night. So then with the second half about to get underway again, very shortly the players are back out for the start of the second half. Who's going to come out on top in this game? Will it be Arsenal or Liverpool? Let's see. Let's find out as we get ready for the second half to get underway, with Arsenal about to get this game back off and underway in the second half. Any second now will be Martin Odegaard to kick us off. No changes to either side, which I'm not really surprised about, unless that Frimpong coming kind of after his knock in that first half. As we're now back underway in the second half with David Raya getting the ball from Martin Odegaard as he goes long downfield, is collected on this near side as Leslie header followed by Martin Zubimendi. Getting the ball now run towards his left hand side, and there is Gabriel to pick up pieces for Arsenal. Back to David Raya, who almost made a mistake in that first half, costing Arsenal with a goal there. It remains 0-0 between the two sides in this game as we watch on, as we see the start of the second half. There's Martin Zubimendi dropping back into the battle, as I mentioned briefly there tonight towards the end of our half-time chat. No second half goals this season. Liverpool with 23, Arsenal with 26, and then Brighton, Brentford and Man City all have 22 goals in the second half of the Premier League. Wonder if we'll see more goals, any goals in this. And there's a man gone down there for Arsenal. It was Jurgen Timber. Referee says, get back to your feet. As we just recap here the two teams at the start of the second half. For Arsenal, it's David Raya, Jurgen Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel, Pierre Nketiah, Martin Odegaard, Martin Zubimendi, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Victor Gyökeres and Leandro Trossard. We'll give you Liverpool side in a second as the gap up against William Saliba. Holding on to Saliba well there to maintain possession for Liverpool. Let's go back now to Virgil van Dijk. Now it comes down the left hand side again for Liverpool, as here is Alexis McAllister. Good over the play, one McAllister into Virgil van Dijk. He gets the ball forward there to Gakpo. Further down the line is Milos Kerkez, who will look to come forward. A bit of play back he goes to Gravenberch as Liverpool just keep hold of possession. Van Dijk back towards halfway, and he's just a couple of yards in the field from the halfway line. As there is Gravenberch, who can hold up the play just a yard in front of the halfway line there. As they're back on halfway, and we're running you through the Liverpool side now. It's Alisson in goal, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Kerkez. Gravenberch and McAllister in the old in. Frimpong, Szoboszlai and Wirtz behind Gakpo for Liverpool. The referee, incidentally, if you've just joined us, is Anthony Taylor. I think has refereed this game quite well tonight. Here is Florian Wirtz inside the penalty area, still going for Liverpool, going one way, then the other. And he goes down inside the penalty area. The referee, Anthony Taylor, says no. And Gabriel looks to pick him up and tries to pick him up here, and he will not get up. Florian Wirtz there. As Liverpool play, Germany international wanted a penalty. Now let's look at this again. Said no straight away, did the referee. And I don't think that. And when I see this again, I've seen plenty of challenges like this plenty of times before and they've not been given. And that one there, rightly not given either, as Florian Wirtz just feels a little touch from Trossard and goes down. No, there was a little touch there, but nothing into it to give a penalty away, and nothing to say that he dove either. So just to play on was the correct call there, in my opinion. VAR have checked it, and they have said no as well. So play will resume as Arsenal have possession with William Saliba. That's the first major talking point in terms of VAR to get involved. VAR tonight, incidentally, just to remind you, is John Brooks and Dan Robotham. There's here come Liverpool coming forward with Jeremy Frimpong trying to defend Welia up against Gyökeres and Nkapie, and Canate just Shepard's out along with Frimpong to win inside the goalkeeper's Arsenal tried to come forward down the left hand side there as we watch this game unfold. So reminder of the subs bench then. For Arsenal is Kepa, White, Jesus, Eze, Martinelli, Norgard, Madueke, Moreno, Lewis Skelly. For Liverpool is Gomez, Kier, Jones, Ahmed Robertson, Woodman, Leone, Ramsey and Engamoa. And remains goalless between the two sides here. On the commentary of Russ Vernon, your man guiding you through the action as we bring you this Premier League encounters. Gravenberch comes over the halfway line and looks to come forward here for Liverpool into Cody Gakpo. Forward into Milos Kerkis. Can he get there? He can't. That ball was too much power on that one there, and it remains goalless here. If you're just tuning into us this evening, Russ Vernon guiding you through the action in this Premier League encounter this evening. Hopefully you've enjoyed our coverage so far, and if you do like it and it's your first time listening to us, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you tell your friends and family members about us as well, as we want to get more subscribers and some more viewers to our channel. And if you are interested in becoming a part of the channel, wanted to do some commentaries like me, or some producing like Nick, or even some presenting, like we've got some like we do as well, our commentators presenting for some of the games as well, do get in touch with us on X, formerly known as Twitter. A commentary line is a place to get in touch with us there, and we will endeavour to get back to you to keep you updated and to potentially get you involved in the channel as well, as we look to add more people to our commentary team for this upcoming World Cup in the summer. Back to here and now, though, Arsenal have possession with Gabriel on this left hand side, playing down the line there, and here is Ryan Gravenberch. Good bit of play there as a free kick for Liverpool. Foul on Gravenberch as he tried to get away there, as Liverpool will just take a free kick through Alexi McAllister in a moment. Florian Wirtz just getting in position. It remains Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. As we recap, if you want to just join us and not got the game on, Arsenal are in their red shirts, white shorts, red socks. Liverpool in their white shirts, black shorts, and white socks this evening. David Raya all in yellow tonight for Arsenal between the sticks. Alisson all in black. The referee, Anthony Taylor, and his officials on field, and the assistants are in a light blue shirt, black shorts and black socks tonight for this game here at the Emirates Stadium between Arsenal and Liverpool. We've had 8 minutes over the second half, and it remains Arsenal 0. And then a few minutes of the second half, should I say, 7 minutes of the second half, should I say, and it remains Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0, if you're just tuning into us tonight. Russ Vernon, your match commentator, Nicholas Jones, the man doing the producing for us this evening as well. And I'm also the match commentator for this big game tonight in the Premier League, as Frimpong just keeps the ball for Liverpool on that far side. Here is Florian Wirtz now, up against Jurgen Timber, and Wirtz wants to get past him. He rolls it into Frimpong. Back he goes to Kirkis, who almost took his eye off the ball for a second. And Van Dijk gets it back to him. He gets it back now to Virgil van Dijk. And Van Dijk will play through the lines to Gravenberch. And this is a good bit of play from Liverpool if he can get this right. The corner as he breaks down, but Van Dijk gets it back again. And Liverpool, after they give the ball away, win the ball back because Arsenal can't keep the ball at this moment in time either. Here is Konate for Van Dijk, just on halfway as he looks to try and come forward with possession. He breaks into Florian Wirtz. Wirtz will come forward into Van Dijk on halfway, across there to Konate, into Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai rolls it across here now into the path of Van Dijk. Now Konate once more. Remember, Konate gets it back to Virgil van Dijk and he forward on that far side as Kerkez in possession. Kerkez drops it back there to Van Dijk again. Good bit of play this as the ball is chipped over the top. Bradley brings it down but can't get it into a shooting position. Saka wins the header as he tries to get this ball forward. Konate drops it back to Alisson, all in black, as he sends this ball back downfield, looking for the run of Cody Gakpo. Headed away there, well by Saliba. Now Declan Rice with possession. And Rice will turn away and find Zubamendi. Ball into Bukayo Saka there. That's a good bit of play from Arsenal. Here is Trossard. Tries to get the ball forward down that left-hand channel, looking for the run of Declan Rice from midfield. Too much on that ball though, and it's cut out in the end. And it remains Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. If you're just tuning into us as we approaching the 10th minute of the second period, where it remains Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. And Pierre Nketiah will come up to take this throw-in. Throws it back here to Gabriel. Will play it to Saliba. And across there to Martin Ødegaard. Ødegaard will control inside the centre circle and find Gabriel, who comes over from the left-hand side. Down the line it goes to Leandro Trossard as he moves in field from the left, attacking the edge of the penalty area. Ball into the penalty area, just bounces off of Martin Zubamendi and goes behind for a goal kick to Liverpool. Here is that a good bit of play in the end. Or if you're on TikTok as well, you can send us a message on TikTok as well. I'll give you the TikTok name in just a moment. The TikTok name, if you look into the chat, be in the description of this video, you can see the TikTok link in there as well. Where to follow us on TikTok. Send a message on TikTok as well, and we'll get back to you and we can have a chat, see what you can bring to the channel, as well as Miles Lewis Skelly. We're about to come on here for Nketiah, a left back for Arsenal, just 11 minutes into the second half here. It remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool in the Premier League as we watch on this afternoon, or morning or evening, depending where you're off. From us 6 degrees at the Emirates Stadium, still raining there as well. I did say we were going in for the rest of the evening. Nketiah making his way off. There was Ødegaard just having a chat as he makes his way off. There just gets an high five, and Miles Lewis Skelly will get ready to come on in his place. Good sportsmanship from Jeremy Frimpong as he gives him an high five. Nketiah then he gives an high five to his manager Mikel Arteta as confirmation of that change. Sees Pierre Nketiah be replaced by Miles Lewis Skelly. And it will be updated on our screens in just a moment. There's his wonderful challenge from Saliba to stop Frimpong getting in for Liverpool on this right hand side. Flying Best will leave it for Conor Bradley to come and take this throw-in. It remains 0-0 between the two sides. If you're just tuning into us here this evening, Russ Vernon guiding you through the action. If you're just tuning into us today, thank you very much for doing so. All the scores from the Premier League's matches this weekend, this midweek, should I say, thus far, going across the bottom. We'll be taking a break from Premier League action, and we'll tell you what game this weekend as we are in the FA Cup. I'll tell you at the so we finish tonight what our next live offering is from the FA Cup, or next live offering from the matches here on the channel, and it'll be the visitors who will be in action in our next live offering. We'll tell you when they're playing next, and that's the game we're covering as well in the FA Cup. And it remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool in the Premier League. Russ Vernon guiding you through the action tonight as we see this ball collected here by Dominic Szoboszlai. In there it goes well. Szoboszlai just picks up possession once more from Konaté's pass. Szoboszlai on the right hand side, drops it downfield to McAllister. Back in field, he goes on halfway for Konaté. Van Dijk there into McAllister. McAllister turns away well. And McAllister's got Bradley out wide of him, and he finds him. And he drops it for Frimpong. Frimpong does well and pulls it in field for Szoboszlai. Good play to Virgil van Dijk. And I forgot to mention in my chat with Mike, if Bradley and Frimpong can't get back, Szoboszlai has played a right back for Liverpool before. He could potentially get back and cover that position if needed as well. You're listening to the Commentators coverage of Arsenal against Liverpool in the Premier League on TCHub Live. Arsenal versus Liverpool as we approach the hour mark. It remains 0-0 between the two sides here at the Emirates. Arsenal would move on to 49 points at the top of the table and move 6 points clear of Aston Villa and Manchester City respectively. Breaking news from Manchester City that will be officially confirmed tomorrow though, but I can tell you that Antoine Semenyo has completed a move to City from Bournemouth. 5.5-year contract. It will be officially confirmed tomorrow. He's passed the medical earlier today, signed his contract earlier today. Confirmation from Manchester City is expected to come on Friday, the 9th of January, with official confirmation of that one. But that's some breaking news that we have got in this evening tonight. As from the world of the Premier League with regards to that signing there. As we watch this game here, as there is a move here, as it's gone down here and the referee says play on. As we watch this unfold here, it remains Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. Here's McAllister, good bit of work from McAllister, and he goes down the challenge there. And he did well, McAllister. The men didn't think he was, neither did Declan Rice, but the referee, Anthony Taylor, did, and his sports is the only thing that matters. And it remains 0-0 between the two sides as we played 61 minutes in the Premier League. It remains goalless. It was Dominic Szoboszlai who scored the winning goal for Liverpool at Anfield late on from a free kick. Can he get one very early from a free kick in this game this evening as we watch this game unfold at the Emirates? Still goalless as we watch this game and see if we can get a breakthrough. Szoboszlai will line up this set piece. Whistle is blown from Anthony Taylor. Szoboszlai steps up and he finds it eye wide. Not so handsome. And he went right over the top and swerved towards the left, towards Arsenal's left, Liverpool's right hand side. That was a poor free kick in the end from Dominic Szoboszlai. And here comes Gabriel for Arsenal. Down the line he goes and giving away to Bradley. Here's Frimpong. Bradley again is Arsenal really yet to cause Liverpool any problems in the final third as of yet. The only major chance of note came in the first half with the Conor Bradley effort off of the crossbar, but Arsenal only need really one chance in recent games to get their noses in front. And Frimpong is having taken this chance for Liverpool and create something here. Frimpong pulls it back to the edge of the penalty area. Szoboszlai inside the penalty area. Comes out of the penalty area now though, just Szoboszlai. Towards our left hand side there, and Gravenberch. Wirtz breaks down for Szoboszlai's effort is blocked. And Rice gets it clear. For Odegaard and Saka clears it. Looking for Gyökeres. Will Liverpool win possession back again? And Van Dijk gets it forward this time for Gravenberch. How wide it goes for Kerkez. Back to Gravenberch again. 0-0 the scoreline. If you just tune into us, as Liverpool just keeping all of possession at this moment in time. Konate. Good work here from Ibrahima Konate. Cross there to Conor Bradley. Bradley gets it down the line for Jeremy Frimpong. And back in returns to Conor Bradley again. Bradley's ball is blocked as he tries to get the ball into the penalty area. And Miles Lewis-Skelly is pushed over there by Cody Gakpo, and a free kick will be given to Arsenal. And Arsenal are going to make a double substitution here. And it will see number 19, Leandro Trossard, be replaced by Gabriel Martinelli. And the second substitution will see Victor Gyökeres be replaced by Gabriel Jesus. So double substitution then for Arsenal. 14 Victor Gyökeres replaced by number 9 Gabriel Jesus, and number 19 Leandro Trossard replaced by number 11 Gabriel Martinelli. And that will be updated on your screens. There, as that is the change there. Second and third sub for Arsenal as Liverpool have to do some defending up against Gabriel Jesus for his first involvement. But this is good play from Liverpool as Gravenberch does well to just keep the ball in play. He almost stumbled over. And he does well, and he doesn't keep the ball in play. He does. And now here comes Frimpong down the left hand, down the Arsenal left. Pulls the ball back. Can't find a white shirt as he's looking for Kirkers. There's a ball sent forward looking for Gabriel Jesus. And it will go out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool again. But that's a good bit of play there as Liverpool look to come forward down the side just going into 20 minutes into the second half. Good cutback with no one in a white shirt who was able to get an enemy just behind Florian Wirtz. Otherwise, that could have been the opening goal of the game as if Wirtz went on Twitter and controlled it and fired it. The shot at a goal, it could have been the opening goal of the game, and that will come off there for Liverpool. And it is so we're coming into the 21st minute of the second period, 66th minute of the game very shortly, and it remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool in the Premier League. Is Szoboszlai. Gravenberch goes for handball, nothing given. As Declan Rice drops the ball back to Gabriel. Saliba. Timber into Odegaard. Odegaard will look up. And now here comes Declan Rice. Now Martin Odegaard sends the ball forward looking for Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli pushed over there by Frimpong. The referee says no play on. Martinelli stays down here. And Liverpool will continue here as Arsenal did in the first half. Arsenal wanting the ball to be put out, but they never put the ball out for Liverpool in the first half. So why should Liverpool pull the ball out for Arsenal in the second? It's not an head injury. Just play on. Martinelli just get up and play on. And Liverpool are doing so. And Kirk has low crossing his paw. And Arsenal trying to come away with possession. Arsenal going to pull the ball out. There's a man gone down. But the ball whacked it. This time it is an head injury for Bukayo Saka. The ball whacked him in the face there from Kirk's ball forward. Martinelli just slowly getting back to his feet now. Just looking at this here from Martinelli. Pushed, nudged in the back. And the initial cutter was outside of the area, so he was never going to be given the penalty kick there. And I don't know why he stayed down and didn't get up there. Gabriel Martinelli, he's just on his own just now. There's one got to check on Bukayo Saka of the Arsenal physiotherapists, and the other one has got to have a check on Gabriel Martinelli, the substitute who could end up being substituted. It remains 0-0 here in the Premier League. Russ Vernon guiding you through the action as we can keep you up to date in this Premier League encounter. Still awaiting our first goal. Canate being pulled back by Gabriel Jesus. Saka gains some treatment. This is where the referee Anthony Taylor is and the majority of the players are around Bukayo Saka, just checking his welfare. And that is what Virgil van Dijk was doing there, just checking his welfare. Guys having away with Martin Zubimendi. And it remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool in the Premier League. If you're just tuning into us this evening, we're spending guiding through the action as we watch this game unfold. The final game of match week 21 in the Premier League before the Premier League takes a short break for FA Cup action. As we bring you Arsenal against Liverpool in the Premier League today. At the Emirates, scoreless it remains. It will be a drop ball then, and I think it's will be a drop ball to Arsenal as Arsenal had possession when the play was stopped there as we see a challenge from Saka a few moments ago on Kirkes, which went unpunished. Liverpool have got the ball back as there was a drop ball which Liverpool won possession back from. And now it's Jeremy Frimpong. He keeps hold of possession and finds Conor Bradley. Bradley drops it infield there to Ibrahima Konate. And he gets the ball forward. Konate plays it into McAllister. Across to Bradley. Saka back on the field now as Arsenal are back up to 11 players. Martinelli okay as well to continue. I'm surprised Martinelli didn't have to go off because of Vizio came on to look at him. So I'm surprised he was allowed to stay on and Arsenal were allowed to have 10 players on the pitch, even though 2 did receive some treatment there. It remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool. Will we see a breakthrough here? It's Conor Bradley. Infield it goes to Alexi McAllister. McAllister infield to Florian Wirtz. To Bosley. Wirtz again. Infield to Bradley. Good ball into Bradley again from Frimpong. Now Wirtz. Bradley. Good bit of movement here from Liverpool as they try and pull Arsenal out of shape and try and force the opening. Konate finds Bradley as he looks to do that. Away from Martinelli. Bradley back to Konate on halfway. Konate just standing still, just assessing his options. There's Bradley, who's poor touch, almost allowed Arsenal to win it back, which they do through Declan Rice. Lewis Skelly gets it back to David Raya. Raya's clearance is poor over the head of Bukayo Saka. He breaks as an header for Zubimendi. Flicked on there looking for Declan Rice by Gabriel Jesus when it should have been the other way around. There. There's a Liverpool man gone down under the challenge there of Yuri Timber, which was Cody Gakpo, and a free kick. There is a ball will now come towards this near side and Jeremy Frimpong. Frimpong back he goes to Conor Bradley. No shots from Arsenal in the second half. 2 from Liverpool. 1 touch in the opposition box for Arsenal. 4 for Liverpool, which tells its own story really. Arsenal yet to really test Alisson tonight. Here is Kirkes, who can't keep the ball in play, and with this decision here could potentially help Arsenal get the first chance to test Alisson in this second half with the Gunners yet to fire, currently firing blanks with having no shots at all. Here is Gabriel Martinelli now. Delivers a cross into the penalty area. Konate heads it away. There's Wirtz for Gravenberch. Rice gets it forward. Jesus, good turn away by him away from his man. And keeps all the possession. Timber down the line for Bukayo Saka up against Kirkes. Saka goes one way then the other. Saka inside the penalty area. Goes down. No challenge, no foul. According to referee Anthony Taylor, I didn't think there was either. Ball into the penalty area. Goes for round ball. Nothing given. Cleared away Ball back in towards the penalty area. There's the header forward by Conor Bradley, and he's been beaten now to the ball by Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli gets the ball forward looking for Lewis Skelly. We've put too much on that ball looking for Lewis Skelly, and it trickles out of play for a goal kick here to Liverpool. It remains 0-0 at the Emirates. We have played 28 minutes of the second half, and we are still awaiting our first goal of this game tonight. And I must say, Liverpool's defence have been on top. Arsenal yet to really carve them open, really, to be honest. As it's cleared away by Alisson. Headed away again. Here is Saliba. Rice. Zubimendi down the line for Saka. Saka turns away, keeping hold of possession. We're losing it. Now Florian Wirtz. Infield for Szoboszlai. And now Jeremy Frimpong. What can Frimpong do here? Finds Szoboszlai again. Takes a bit of time, just Dominic Szoboszlai, and rolls it into the centre circle for Konate. Further forward for Van Dijk, down the line for Kirkes. Back to Van Dijk on halfway. Through the centre circle for McAllister to Szoboszlai. There's Wirtz back to Bradley. Now Frimpong. Wirtz again. 1-2 with Szoboszlai. And he gets it back to Konate. Konate looks forward. And that's a poor pass from Wirtz. Szoboszlai makes sure Liverpool keep possession though. Here's Frimpong. Back he goes to McAllister. Infield to Konate. On to Van Dijk. Further wide for Cody Gakpo up against Jurrien Timber. Gakpo drops the ball back. Here is Konate again for Liverpool from Van Dijk. Now Bradley. Good ball into Jeremy Frimpong. Frimpong does well and still going. Wonderful play from Frimpong. Good crossing. Good anyway by Gabriel. And he puts the Szoboszlai. Who finds it out wide. And also answering into the crowd. Away to my right hand side. Well, that's decent effort again there. Brilliant crossing to the penalty area. Headed out by Saliba. It was not Gabriel, as initially thought. Comes to Szoboszlai, who found it eye wide and not so handsome there. As very shortly, in about 5 minutes' time, I will give my player of the match to Nicholas Jones for tonight's game, as my choice will be made very, very shortly. Here's McAllister for Liverpool though. Wonderful one from Alexis McAllister into Dominic Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's shot is blocked. Comes back out into Gravenberch. And now here they come again. It's Bradley to Frimpong. Good player now for Ryan Gravenberch again. Now Ibrahim Konate. Good ball across there to Kirkes. Down the line it goes well. Wonderful bit of player from Cody Gakpo. Gakpo does extremely well there to keep hold of possession and will look to come forward. Wonderful play from Gakpo. Good ball backwards here now. Infield to Ryan Gravenberch. Now into the path of Conor Bradley. Into Jeremy Frimpong. Frimpong does well. Good ball in field. Back towards Frimpong again. Crossed in low. Cleared away from near post. Here's Conor Bradley again. Bradley delivers the ball in towards the penalty area. Too much on that and goes behind for a goal kick. Because Arsenal set to make two more changes. Number 20, Noni Madueke, will be coming on now to replace Bukayo Saka for Arsenal. 17 minutes since the England internet has Saka lasted. Martin Ødegaard is the other man coming off, and he is being replaced by Eberechi Eze, who will come on to replace him. Here is the changes have been made there as we watch this game unfold. So confirmation, Saka for Madueke, Eze for Ødegaard of the Arsenal changes there as we get ready for the game to get back underway any second now, as we have played 33 minutes of this game and remains in the second half, should I say, 17 minutes in total, and remains Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. I don't wish to go back in time and say it was only 33 minutes ago, because I can't go over another 90 minutes of another 45 minutes of commentary on top of this one, because this has been a very good game to watch, just lacking goal-mouth action at this moment in time. Arsenal have used up all their subs now. Lewis Skelly, Madueke, Martinelli, Eze and Jesus are on for Arsenal, so that means no place in today's game for Ben White, Kepa Arrizabalaga and Christian Norgard, along with Mikel Moreno. Here is Timber, out wide to Madueke. Madueke into the penalty area. Pulls the ball across the face of goal. Where was anyone in the Arsenal shirt there? Had there been someone in there, that would have been 1-0 to the Arsenal, as the song goes, if they only win by the odd goal. It remains 0-0. We see this again from Madueke. Brilliant ball across. Timber slipped there. Otherwise, I think Timber may have been in that position. As we see Zubimendi play that ball across there for Timber, and laid it out wide there from Madueke. Brilliant pass from Zubimendi. And for me, had Timber not slipped, Timber would have probably been in on that there. Headed back in field from Gakpo, has found Florian Wirtz after a mistake by Noni Madueke, failing to keep his eye on possession. Gakpo again. Back now to Florian Wirtz once more. Virgil van Dijk, and very shortly I'll be handing over my player of the match to Nicholas Jones this evening, and the Arsenal captain has gone to Gabriel now. Nicholas, he has got the captain's armband as Dominic Szoboszlai is down. It looks like a foul by Gabriel Jesus on Szoboszlai, which is given a free kick there to Liverpool. As we watch the closing stages unfold, and very shortly I'll watch this free kick and then give the player of the match to Nick after this free kick, who is my producer. As we watch this game unfold, Premier League on the TCHub Live. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0, 81 minutes on the clock. Will we see a goal coming up here from Liverpool? Dominic Szoboszlai, who is one of them who has played well today for Liverpool, and in match reckoning for player of the match. There's been a number of Liverpool players who have played well today, including some of the defenders as well. Szoboszlai will land this free kick. Takes a shot just over the top of the crossbar this time. A bit closer than the one before. And that was a decent effort there from Dominic Szoboszlai. Just over the top of the crossbar there. And that remains with the scoreline of 0-0 there as we watch this game unfold this evening, as we watch to see how this game will pan out towards the end of this game, as we get ready for the closing stages of this match tonight. It remains 0-0 between the two sides as the ball is played forward here. Will they get a winner here, either of these two sides? As we watch this ball and game unfold, as Arsenal picks up possession, and here's Gabriel Jesus. Wonderful run from Gabriel Jesus. Can he get the ball in towards the penalty area? He can't, and he's cleared away. Frimpong is there. With poor from Frimpong, where a free kick is being given. Foul by Miles Lewis Skelly on Jeremy Frimpong, and a free kick goes the way of Liverpool. And I think I may have to give a player of the match to one of those from the Liverpool side. tonight. And I'm just about to send that over to Nick in just a second. And it remains 0-0 here as Arsenal will try and come forward. In this game, and it remains 0-0 as Wirtz commits a foul there as the referee has said a free kick to Arsenal, which he's not happy about in this game today. We remain locked at 0-0 here. Liverpool yet to make any changes whatsoever in this game. Arteta has done 5 changes, and he's one of them. Martinelli's cross. Can he find Eze in there? But the referee says no, the ball, I think, was just offside Martinelli there, as that almost went through there. That was so unlucky in the end. And a yellow card has been shown there. Just trying to see who picked up that yellow card. There, just trying to see who's flashed it to there. I think he's been given to one of the Liverpool coaching staff. Indeed it has. Spike Usloff, one of the Liverpool coaches, with that yellow card there. And it remains 0-0 here in the Premier League as Arsenal will try and come forward again. I thought it was Arteta. He's just shown that he was the Arsenal assistant manager or one of their coaching Liverpool, one of the coaching staff there. It remains 0-0. Arteta just telling his team to just calm down with the passes there as well. The Liverpool coaching staff who was the one with a yellow card. It remains 0-0 here in the Premier League as we watch on here. Be interesting to see how this game unfolds tonight. If we'll see a late winner, as McAllister will try and ensure that is a Liverpool one. And he goes down and it's a goal kick. Excuse me, to Arsenal. There, Timber did well to shepherd that ball out for a goal kick, which David Ray will take. It looks like he's going to go long, David Ray, this time. He is looking for the run of Madweke. We can't find him. It's Liverpool winning the ball back with Virgil van Dijk's header to Gakpo. Gakpo goes down on the challenge of Yuri and Timber. The referee says a free kick to Liverpool. Here. In this game, and it remains 0-0 between the two sides. Good game. Just lacking quality in the final third from these two sides. And for me, if Arsenal are serious about winning the title, they need to be beating the likes of Liverpool, who won it last season, and we've not done that this season yet. And it looks like they're only going to gain 1 point from Liverpool, where Liverpool could gain 4 points from Arsenal, as it stands with the victory for the Reds at Anfield earlier this season. In the next stoppage of play, I will be giving you the player of the match this evening, sponsored by Football Live. I wonder who I have picked tonight. Let us know your thoughts on who you think should be player of the match this evening. As here comes Liverpool with Kirkes. Good movement here from the Reds, the visitors from Anfield and from Merseyside. Here comes Liverpool once more to try and keep hold of possession. It remains 0-0, 88 minutes on the clock as the ball is played forward and out of play for a goal kick to Arsenal. Into the final 2 minutes plus stoppage time left to play. Into the final 90 seconds now plus stoppages left to play there. And is now picked up here by Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's put off Dominic Szoboszlai. And it'll be a throw in here for Arsenal, which will be taken by Miles Lewis-Skelly. Can he get something and help Arsenal to get something from this game? Lewis-Skelly throws it in field for Eze, who was brought down under the challenge there of Alexis McAllister. And Alexis McAllister goes into the referee's notebook there and has picked up a yellow card for his troubles there for the foul on Eze. So Alexis McAllister goes into the referee's notebook, his third yellow card of the season for the Liverpool and Argentine midfielder. Here's Declan Rice as Arsenal look to try and get a late winner here. It's out wide to Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli can come forward here when Liverpool have been defending resolutely, should I say, and being defensive resolute tonight. Here is Madueke. Can he unlock the Liverpool defence? He has to go back to Saliba to try and help him out. Back to Madueke again. As we enter 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game, where we're still awaiting our first goal. It was penalty. Jesus' header is straight down the throat there of Alisson, who throws it out quickly, looking for Frimpong on our left-hand side. The wonderful covering play there from Emirates Eze to get back and win it back for Arsenal. Will we see a late goal here? It's Gabriel Martinelli attacking down this left-hand side. Wonderful bit of play. Ball into the penalty from Martinelli. Crossing in a brilliant save. Cross-come shot it was from Martinelli there, and a brilliant save in the end from Alisson. Good bit of play from Martinelli through the legs of Conor Bradley, and then he opened up for him to have a strike straight down the throat of Alisson Becker there, and he blunts all the way through for David Raya. As we can tell you, tonight's player of the match, sponsored by Football Live, goes to Liverpool's number 8, Dominic Szoboszlai, this evening. No goals, no assists, with a passing accuracy of 93.9%. Dominic Szoboszlai is the player of the match this evening on Football, sponsored by Football Live. And Jesus has fouled Canate there, pushed him over inside the penalty area. There is a free kick. And there is his stats in the end for, as I read out to you, no goals, no assists for Dominic Szoboszlai, 93.9% passing accuracy. Just took a bit of time to get up there on the screen, just a technical itch there. We have got you the stats that I read out to you a few moments ago on the screen there. And it remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool there, as the ball is flicked on. Lewis-Skelly challenging against Frimpong. It feels like we're an handball in there from Lewis-Skelly, but the referee has not spotted it. The play will continue though, as Bradley puts it out for a throw-in to Liverpool. Martinelli wants to go on quickly, but Bradley is stayed down here and is rolling back onto the pitch after being off of the pitch. And Arsenal aren't happy with this. They're wanting the game to continue, and that could be and there's a fight going off here now. Jesus Martinelli picks up a yellow card in that there as he pushed him off of the pitch. Madueke getting involved, Frimpong, Kirkes is all kicking off here. Alisson getting involved as well. And Gabriel Martinelli went into the book there. I think there may be some others going into the book as well. And they're asking for a stretcher here, Liverpool, for Conor Bradley, which is not a good sign here. And he will be able to go off on a stretcher here. Conor Bradley, which may see Joe Gomez come on for the last few minutes in this game tonight. Wow. I didn't expect it to kick off there. Ibrahim Konate also picked up a book in there. His 5th yellow card of the season. Martinelli did pick up a yellow card, as I mentioned. 2nd yellow card of the season for him. The stretcher is now on for Conor Bradley. Look at this again. He clears it away, and then his knee goes, and he goes down with no one near him. And then Martinelli, I think the reason why he gets a booking there is because he chucks the ball at him, and then he grabs up, and then he pushes him off of the pitch. And then Szoboszlai gets involved, Konate gets involved, Jesus gets involved, and there's all a bit of handbags there. In the end, we've played the 4 minutes that was added on, but we'll continue a few moments more because of the incident here. And they're waiting for the stretcher. This will be Liverpool's first sub of the game if they do make one here any moment now, which I think they will do because they have to go off on a stretcher. And he has gone off on a stretcher here. And Liverpool will be making a substitution, I would imagine, for Conor Bradley going off here. And I'm correct. It is Joe Gomez, who wears number 2, who comes on for Conor Bradley in the right back spot here for Liverpool. Lewis Skelly with the throw then for Gabriel. Time will continue to tick down as we watch on here. Will we see a late winner for one of these sides? Jesus is there, anyway by Konate, who picked up a yellow card in the midst of all that. Lewis Skelly throws it backwards to Gabriel. Last chance saloon now for either of these sides to get something from this game. Will it be a last gasp winner for Arsenal? Will it be a last gasp winner for Liverpool? Or will it be a goalless draw here this evening? Arsenal just one last chance, Salonius. Timber gets it out wide to the Saliba there, who looks to come forward. Back to Timber again. Further wide is Noni Madueke. Madueke attacking the penalty area. And Madueke gets it off of the Liverpool man by there, Florian Wirtz, and he's behind for a corner kick to Arsenal. One last chance now. Arsenal surely won't win it from this corner, will they? Cheers, Nick, as well. Arteta did pick up a yellow card a few moments ago as well for Arsenal. When the Liverpool bench member picked up one as well. Will there be a late winner here for Arsenal? Gabriel's in there. Saliba 2. Madueke to take this corner, which could prove the winning goal from. Gabriel's at the back post and he hits it just wide. And is that a full-time whistle there at the end? It is. Full-time, last chance was that header from Gabriel there. And the full-time whistle has gone at the end here. And Gabriel's free header at the back post was the last chance for anyone to get something from this game. But the full-time score in the game here at the Emirates Stadium tonight is Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0, and it wasn't for the one of trying. Goals were all to come by. Szoboszlai, the pick of the bunch, who got our player of the match this evening. Well, the full-time score here at the Emirates reads Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. And I can tell you, we haven't got the updated table to come on the screen. Well, we'll be able to tell you what the updated table standings are. Both teams will remain in first and fourth respectively. Arsenal in first, Liverpool in fourth. But I can tell you that Arsenal have now moved on to be on 49 points, 6 points clear of Man City and Aston Villa. Liverpool are on 35 points, 2 points clear of Brentford after that point here at the Emirates this evening. So, my first commentary of the new year starts with a 0-0, which involves Arsenal, the leaders, and Liverpool in the Premier League. We'll recap the scores again in just a moment from the Premier League, but before we do that, and round up the scores from the weekends, from the midweek action, should I say? I need to get that in my head. Midweek action. Before I do that, there is the scores there from the Premier League. I'll run through them quickly for you now, and we'll do it again just before we finish. West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 2, Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 2, Brentford 3, Sunderland 0, Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0, Everton 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Fulham 2, Chelsea 1, Man City 1, Brighton 1, Burnley 2, Manchester United 2, Newcastle 4, Leeds United 3, and Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. And Frimpong and Capier having a bit of a banter there towards the end of the game after the final whistle there. Then it is the first time that Arsenal have dropped points at home in the league since September the 21st, will they maintain a 6-point lead at the top of the table after being frustrated by Liverpool today. Before we end up and leave you and remind you what our next live often is going to be in a few moments' time, let's just bring in Mike Arneman, who has watched this game as well. And Mike, just give us your overall assessment on this game, because for me, I think we've also didn't really create much. Liverpool and cancelled Liverpool out in the other end. Only real chance of the game for me, other than the two free kicks, which were the second of the two went very close from Szoboszlai. The only real chance of goal in it from any team was that Bradley effort in the first half, which in the crossbar. I think a point is a fair result on reflection.
Yeah, I think so as well. When you look at the balance of play, I thought Liverpool came with a very good game plan to frustrate Arsenal and stop us from playing our game and playing with their tempo. And I think they played very, very well today, did Liverpool. And I think you summed it up quite well just a few minutes ago when you said the word frustrating. That's what it is. It's one of those performances where if Arsenal were at their A game, they would have probably potentially gone on and won the game. But it was just a little bit slow, to be honest, from Arsenal. I thought that there was not really any urgency until right near the end when Martinelli tried to get kind of Bradley off the pitch there. But that's far too little too late to even, and I think that was a little bit silly anyway, and a bit petulant there from him to do that. But I just feel that Arsenal really lacked any sort of cutting edge going forward and any real momentum or tempo, and that was down to Liverpool set up and the way they defended. Liverpool have been known for conceding goals quite often this season, and they've sort of shown that they can still defend pretty well in this game today. So yeah, frustrating from Arsenal. Thought Saka was bright, he had a decent game. Martinelli, when he came on, looked a bit more lively than Trossard. Madueke had a few little runs as well, but it's just too quiet from too many big Arsenal players today. Odegaard was quiet. I thought Rice was quiet. I thought Zubimendi was pretty quiet in the attacking sense. Victor Gyökeres very, very quiet again. Don't even know how many touches he had in that game, but next to none, to be honest. He really hasn't hit the ground running for Arsenal at all. And again, he was frustrated today. Gabriel Jesus as well when he came on. He looked a little bit better than what Gyökeres did, but still didn't really have an awful lot of chances or time to get shots away because of that Liverpool defence. So, yeah, it's a good performance from Liverpool. You've got to give them the credit that they deserve and where it's due, but very flat from Arsenal as well.
Yes, absolutely, Mike, absolutely. I'm just looking at the stats from, as you mentioned there, Victor Gyökeres. 64 minutes played, obviously 0 goals. He had no shots at all in the game. Expected assists of XA, which is basically like XG, which was 0.02. Distance covered, 7.65. One chance created. He had 7 passes, a passing accuracy of 85.87. I'm not sure how many touches he had, but from this year, he was very quiet, as you mentioned. With a couple of others, you mentioned Trossard. I thought he was poor today as well, as you mentioned, Mike. But only he had 2 shots in the game, not on target. 15 passes he made in that game with a 66.7% pass accuracy. 2 tackles in the game, and he won one of them, 50% of them won. So only won 1 out of the 2 tackles. So you've got to say poor from him as well. You mentioned, but Odegaard, he said he was quiet. Only 1 chance created from him in this game today. Only he covered 9.70 km in distance, did a 94.3% passing accuracy from a total of 35 passes from Odegaard. And I think he summed it well. I think he said I summed it well there, which I think I did with Liverpool frustrated Arsenal. That's 4 points they took off you this season, Mike. Are you a bit concerned that if you want to win the league, you need to be beating teams like that, and for whatever reason this season you've not been able to get the better of Liverpool, because they're one of your contenders, or should be one of your contenders this season, and you've failed to beat them twice this season, Mike? Are you concerned about that?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I am actually. They are having a very poor season. They were there for the taking today without Salah and Ekitike and Isak out long term as well. Arsenal had a very strong team there, full strength, no injuries, nothing like that. So I just think it was too slow from Arsenal. We saw it in the reverse game as well, which Liverpool won 1-0 with that world-class goal from Dominic Szoboszlai, the free kick, which he could have easily done that again. He was only a few inches away from repeating that today as well, and that one just kind of flew over the top of David Raya's crossbar and just landed on top of the net. But it was a very similar game in a lot of ways. I think Arsenal, I don't know why, but they were a little bit scared of Liverpool. And even the sort of Liverpool being a wounded animal that they are this season, where they've not been great defensively, it just looked like Arsenal were scared of them. And it's something that we saw in the reverse game at Anfield, where Liverpool won that one, and Arsenal didn't really take the game to them, or cause them too many problems. And it was very much the same today as well, and just very underwhelming from an Arsenal point of view. And as I said before, though, you've got to give credit to Liverpool where it's due. But yeah, I just think Arsenal are a bit scared of Liverpool from these 2 games, and it's strange because, as I say, Liverpool are not the same animal that they were last year.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of people, and I think myself as well, think it was a transitional season for Liverpool. They won the league last season under Arne Slot, but that was due to having the majority of the players that Klopp had from the season prior to Slot coming in, which were going last season. And I know Liverpool have not been great this season, and I don't want to keep going back to this. Maybe part of the reason why Liverpool have been great is because of what happened to Diogo Jota, rest in peace to him, and his brother, by the way, from earlier on in the season. I wonder if that's playing a bit of part of why Liverpool are not playing that great. But as you mentioned, Mike, without key players, without Salah, without Isak, who spent 150 million on, and without Ekitike as well, 3 big players there. Salah were in AFCON duty, the other 2 out injured. Isak long-term injury with a broken leg. But Arsenal, as you mentioned, full strength side tonight, and failed to score again against Liverpool. And I think you summed it well, that is a concern, especially where Liverpool have played. You just look at the beginning of December when Leeds were bossed and were under pressure. Leeds beat Chelsea, but then they took on Liverpool, where everyone was expecting Liverpool to beat Leeds at Ellen Road earlier this season. Leeds drew that game 3 apiece, last minute equaliser in that game, come from 2-0 down to, and then 3-2 down to get a draw there. Held Liverpool to a 0-0 draw at Anfield as well. But Liverpool, as you say, man, were there for the taking today, and Arsenal didn't really have an answer to break them down. And I think the midfield battle where games are normally won and lost. I think that those midfielders from both sides, not just Liverpool, from both sides, cancelled the teams out and stopped any creativity flowing from either side tonight. And I think that was the main issue, which is showed today from Arsenal, that the creativity weren't able to get through because of Liverpool's midfield stopping that from getting through and testing Alisson, which for me, I don't think he had a shot to save at all tonight.
No, I don't think he actually did either. As you say, the main chance really it was the one in the first half, which Conor Bradley had off the crossbar. Arsenal's best chance was right at the very last second with Gabriel heading wide from that corner, which you probably would have thought he might have done a bit better with that, but I think Gabriel Jesus got in his way a little bit and maybe a bit of poor communication, which is a bit strange considering they're both Brazilians. But maybe that was Arsenal's best chance to win the game, but I don't think we did enough to deserve the 3 points anyway. I think a draw overall is a fair result on the way that both teams played. I thought Liverpool, as I say, were solid defensively, played very, very well in terms of that setup that they played with today. As you say, the midfield cancelled each other out, and that's correct in what you're saying there as well. Neither front line really had a sniff, so I think 0-0 is probably a fair result.
Yes, absolutely, Mike, and I would agree with that as well. Well, then, we're going to wrap up any second about now. But before I do that, I just want to say big thanks to Nick for producing. Say big thanks to Mike for coming on at half-time and full-time with his thoughts on the game. But just before we do go, just want to remind people our next live coverage comes from Anfield on Monday evening. Kickoff is at 7:45 in the Emirates FA Cup third round action. Liverpool of the Premier League take on Sky Bet League One side Barnsley at Anfield. Hopefully you can join us for that one. In the coverage, in the build-up to that game, we'll also have the coverage of the draw for the fourth round of the Emirates FA Cup, with that being the final tie of the FA Cup third round weekend. And that will be our only live offering from the FA Cup this weekend. But make sure you tune in to us on Monday evening. Stay tuned on YouTube to the community page to find out what time we are going live. That'll be posted in over the weekend. We'll also be posting on X as well, the Commentary Live 1 over there. And on YouTube, it's youtube.com/@Commentary Live 1 on there as well, to keep up to date with what time we are going live for the Liverpool Barnes game, with the coverage of the FA Cup fourth round draw also involved in that. But full time in our coverage here tonight from the Emirates Stadium. It has finished Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. For myself, Russ Vernon, my producer Nicholas Jones, and Mike Oliver for his input at half time and at full time. We thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again soon on Monday evening for the FA Cup fourth round draw, and also the coverage of Liverpool against Barnsley. From all the team here, it's goodbye for now.